So looking at this, it says security footage taken along the U.S.-Mexico border in Texas showed a U.S. soldier opening a gate to let migrants in just days after Joe Biden let Title 42 expire. It says a 1-minute clip shows a female Army officer standing by as a horde shuffled onto private property Monday morning. She said it had done so at the direction of the federal government. So she takes orders directly from the federal government. I thought she is some type of federal agent distilled, deployed specifically to that area, even though it's private property. She was deployed there by the federal government because they knew that was maybe a entry point, a weak spot, a common crossing area. But typically, federal agencies will dress similarly to the field forces that are there. They'll just have different insignia, but generally they will take command from their federal superiors directly, and Marines, typically Marines not won't engage in this type of situation. They more deal with embassy protection, consulate protection, but in this instance, looks like we have the National Guard, State Guard. So federal officers will dress in that similar attire. So it could be misconstrued that she was an Army officer because she is an officer rank, but just again following at the direction of the federal government. We have a video, but we're not gonna play the video. The article kind of just explains exactly what happened. Again, it says a 1-minute clip shows a female Army officer standing by as the horde shuffled onto private property Monday morning. She said she had done so at the direction of the federal government. This video comes just hours after Biden cheered a drop in border crossings since the end of Title 42 with a swipe at the media. When asked by reporters how he believes things are proceeding after Title 42 expired, Biden responded, "Much better than you expected," with a chuckle, which is just insane. It says, according to Malengan, and I just butchered that name, but hey, it is what it is. The Texas National Guard confirmed the female seen opening the gate on the video is actually not a Texas soldier or a Texas National Guard member. I'm told she is a Title 10 soldier from the Missouri ARNG under orders from the federal government and working with BP, according to Fox News. Also says that the video posted online sparked outrage among Twitter users who blasted her actions. "I'm not against immigration. Our country was built on it. It's our strength. But I'm not an all-out of control invasion. But I am not for an all-out control invasion of immigrants to serve in nefarious purposes of an illegitimate government," one user wrote. "Thank God there's a camera there so we can watch them all come through in a nice, orderly fashion," another one said. And I mean, I thought it was kind of sus that we just so happened, out of all this nonsense with border crossings and the end of Title 42, that we're able to get this footage, right? Figure out who the female officer is. Basically get her orders all from a 720p video. It just doesn't make too much sense. Like I said, obviously she was planted there because it was a common crossing, a weak area. And even though it's private property, just like easement rights, they have a right to enter whenever, there's a necessity to. So we don't know who actually gave that federal order to let them in, but that, just this video alone, just this whole article, if we take a step back, to me personally, this just kind of feels more baity, more so of a setup, because, out of everything going on, there's got to be hundreds, if not thousands, of private property cameras recording this with DHS monitoring, all feeds. But you're telling me they were able to get this woman's information within a matter of what? And it would have to be hours. It would have to be hours. Or at least, 2 days. It would have to be 2 days at the most. So, fishy, but obviously, if we look at the articles covered, we can kind of see what is meant to get a rise or a reaction out of us. So anyone that is, someone that is against what's going on, obviously they're going to be on the fence because they see this and they go, hey, this is exactly why we had this in place, and now we have apparently one of our own just letting them in. It kind of reminds me of the January incident where we had video of one of our own, right, just opening the door and letting them in, just walking out of the, moving out of the way and, directing them to go down a corridor. So, history is bound to repeat them, itself. We see it in media all the time. We have to look at the breadcrumbs, piece it together, we get the whole cookie. But when I say that, I mean, they give us pieces of the pie and it's just scattered and it's mixed with truth, it's mixed with lies, it's mixed with bullshit, it's mixed with everything. But no matter what, the truth is out there. And as long as we have the discernment to weed out what we shouldn't focus on, it'll be easier to kind of put the pieces together on what the common narrative is. And right now, this is the biggest narrative right now, is protecting our border. And, these people coming in, veterans getting kicked out, DeSantis sending troops. It's all a power play. It's all like an emotional drama. And the second that you can step back and realize that this is, then you won't, be affected as much. It won't play at your heartstrings like they want it to. They want to get a rise out of you because they want to see you at the next election. And again, like I said, this video, actually, I'm just noticing on the date, the timestamp. Okay, so 2 days ago, 8:57 a.m. So they had less than 40 hours to figure out this feed, the time of the feed, like exactly when they crossed. They had to find out exactly who this person was, all within 48 hours. So just put that in perspective for a moment, and let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if that is fishy to you, because it's fishy to me. With everything going on, stuff like this is just kind of placed in your lap. You should always take a step back and realize if we're being played or not. And I think we're being played. I think we're being played off of what's going on just to get a rise out of us.